Hi, Donald here with Floating Feathers Kayak Fly Fishing School with another tips and tricks. And today's tips and tricks is on sponges and how to help mitigate water collecting all over your kayak inside and splashing around. So if you have a kayak that has access to the hull, so in this instance I am going to be using the Crescent Kayaks light tackle. And I'm just going to take the tray out, and I have a huge area here. If you guys watched my other videos, you know there's a lot of storage area inside the light tackle from Crescent Kayaks. But this is true for any kayak that you have access to the hull. There are sealed kayaks out there, sealed hull kayaks, so this isn't really going to help if you have that type of kayak. So if you have a kayak that has access to the hull, that means anytime you have access, so does water. So if you're, there's always a chance of water getting inside a sit-on top kayak if you have access to the hull. Sit-in kayaks, you can use like a bilge pump, which is a very highly recommended safety item. But we're talking about sit-on top kayaks, and that's just a sponge. My sponges, I buy them like this from Amazon. I think I get like 10 of them for like 12 bucks. They're really cheap. They come really, really thin, just like this. When you open it up, it expands to this. So storing it's pretty easy until you get ready to open it and it kind of expands. What I do is I just plop that right in there, okay? I plop it down in there. It'll help absorb any water. Now what you can do is put a piece of Velcro on one end of your sponge and put a piece of Velcro on the bottom hole of your kayak and just Velcro it right to the bottom. That way if any water is in your kayak, when it starts splashing around, that sponge is going to absorb it. You can, that Velcro ripping. Bring your sponge out, wring it out, outside your kayak, put it back in there, and now no water is sloshing around. One of the reasons you want to do that, one is obviously this is semi-dry storage or dry storage depending on what kind of kayak you have. But it does help to keep stuff at least dry. It's not sitting in water all the time, okay? So if you happen to get water in there, a sponge will just collect that, and it's easy to just reach in, grab your sponge, wring it outside the boat, drop it back in there, and it'll continue to absorb water. Number two is that anytime you have water inside the hull of any kayak and it starts sloshing around, it's going to create balance and issues because that water moving is going to create weight going to one side or the other, and you can't counteract that because you're not making that weight move. It's a liquid form, so it sloshes back and forth. So this will help mitigate that and just keep it one spot. Now, a piece of Velcro is pretty cheap. You can get a roll of Velcro at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, Amazon. Support local if you can. If your local kayak shop happens to sell little pieces of Velcro and some sponges, get those. But put a little piece of Velcro on here, double-sided sticky Velcro stuff. Put another piece on the back, on the bottom of your kayak. Put it wherever you want to, wherever it's not going to get in your way of you storing stuff, and just put it in there. This way, anytime water gets in that kayak hull, your sponge will automatically absorb it. It's really easy to reach in while you're on the water. Grab this thing, wring it out. You can wring it out right over the top because I'm going to sit on top. So of course, we have the scuppers. Let that water drain back out. Pop that thing back down in there, and you are good to go. So that is today's tips and tricks on sponges and how they can help you mitigate water issues inside the hull when you're on the water. So please continue to watch, and I appreciate every single view so far. Leave a comment below, questions, whatever you may have. Remember, Tips and Tricks comes out every Tuesday at 2 Central right here on the Floating Feathers Kayak Fly Fishing channel, and I appreciate you all watching. See you all next time.